Welcome to Streams of Income, hosted by best-selling author and entrepreneur Dr. David Powers, where we discuss streams of income, passive income, residual income, and even why there are dinosaurs and zombies in this intro. Fasten your seatbelts and get ready to dive in.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Streams of Income podcast, and we are here again with Mr. Omar Kharbat, and man, this is episode 3 of this multi-series that he's doing for us on building a business from nothing. You're still working full-time, you want to get out of that, or you want more money, whatever, but going from nothing to something big. And so this episode 3, we're going from 100K to 1 million. So we're scaling without breaking, as Omar puts it. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Omar. And before I do that, though, just be sure to watch the other episodes. And I don't care if you're already in business. It's good to just sometimes go back to basics and do a review, or maybe some of you just need a reset because things aren't working good and you need to go back to the basics. And so watch the other podcasts and then jump into this one when you get to it. And Omar, go ahead and cut it loose, man.
Hey, Dave. All right, guys. So... This is not the same shirt, though. It's different. Today I have a stain on it. Yesterday I didn't have a stain on it, so I have 400 of those shirts.
Oh, that's why I always wear black, and that way I can I'll bleed on it or whatever, and it's still good.
It doesn't show. Cool. All right, good. So yeah, I think we to summarize, from 0 to 1 was all about hustling, and from 1 to 100 was all about productizing. And now we need to go into a new phase in your business, which is you need to systemize it. And just systemizing one word is not enough. So basically, you have to specialize, and you need to clone yourself, and you cannot scale unless you systemize yourself. So you need to build a system that has things that's proving and it's working. You have offers that's already been crafted, and you positioned yourself. You have a brand, which is yourself now, and you have the wheel spinning. You have at least 3-4 days a week full of schedule, and now you're ready to start getting off the truck. And this is what this episode is about. You want to take it where you start cloning yourself, and you need to slowly move out. Now, let me talk just a little bit about cloning yourself, because I think that's the most important thing, and this is where everybody fails, cloning. And I'm using the word cloning as you want people just like you are in the business that you're doing. And you can find these people, maybe about 50% have the qualities of what you want them to be. I'm talking skills, not business minded, not marketing. You don't want that in them. You want them to be skilled guys who can actually do the craft that you do. And then you take that 50% and you build on it another 50% to train them on how you've been doing things and how you do things. You already wrote down your systems when you were doing stuff. So now you have a system. You have your one-page standards, SOP, I think. Is that what it's called? SOP.
Yeah. So
a standing operation procedure. Yep. Do this, don't do that. I expect you to do this, don't do this. Don't tell the customer this, tell them that. So very much it's an SOP. And I think I probably have one online floating around. I'll see if I can share what I used to have. It's perfect, one pager. And so basically you're cloning yourself, and when you're cloning yourself is the benefit from this is the guy's going to be doing 75% of the work, but they're going to come back and give you 25% work. So when I hire somebody to do XYZ for me, he's going to make me do, ABC. Mm-hmm. And I'm hiring you so I don't have to deal with this issue, but now he's giving me more work to do. That's like, okay, we're going, so now I'm doing 25% of the work that I actually paid for, know. And then if you hire 4 guys, guess what you're going to be doing? You're going to be working full time serving those 4 guys.
Yeah.
And companies, what they do, they scale and they hire one guy to deal with those four guys. Or they'll take one of the four guys and promote him and have him deal with four guys, and on and on and on. And the system is growing 1 to 4, 1 to 4, 1 to 4, and then probably going to be fourth of your system or those middle management guys. But if you clone yourself, you can clone yourself, and there's no middle management, and you're saving a lot of money, and now you can grow a lot faster, and you can grow with no surprises. Now when you have middle management, you have to buy extra insurance for mess ups and all the extra stuff that happen. So you need to take this cloning very seriously and try to duplicate yourself when you hire.
Yes.
All right, we can move on now.
No, I love that, because that's something you don't see much. And a lot of my clients are smaller, like family style businesses. And be honest with you, they don't ever look at it from that point of view. They usually just hire family or somebody from church, and somebody that just needs a job, and they don't ever even think about how to scale them, how to clone. And I love that concept.
If you don't hire the perfect guy, chances is going to give you as much work as he's going to do for you. So you're just like not getting anywhere.
Oh yeah. And then when he shows up drunk on a job site, you have to go fix his mistakes and make the customer happy again, or you've lost a customer.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you have to spend extra time trying to figure out how to deal with this guy, or have to deal with his problems. I mean, it's always like you give somebody a job, they give you another job. It's like, you give them work, they give you, and some of those guys, they go fix one thing and they break something else. So you have to be very careful with that.
Oh yeah. Now, in terms of cloning, how do you motivate employees to act like the owners? Because I mean, we, as owners ourselves, we know how we feel about our businesses, but it's hard to get employees to like take ownership. How do you do that?
You're not. It's going to be very rare that somebody really take that as their life or livelihood and grow in this. My dad was one of them. He worked. No, he worked for 40 years at an oil refinery, and he thought that without him, that refinery is not going to run. So he really owned his job. I mean, those guys, they're out there, and if you find one, bring him very close to you and don't let go of him. And maybe 1 out of 4 is like this, but the other guys, it's very hard because they have other plans in their life, so they're not forever with you. One way you can motivate those guys, it's either with money. Respect is the most important thing. You have to respect them for what they do. You don't have to look down at them as like, I'm the boss, you're the employee. Well, without the employee, you're not going to be a boss. But so you have to be very careful with how you treat your guys. Don't at the same time, don't let them control you, because the wrong guy, if you give him power, they're just going to abuse the system. And so you have to always have this balance. And there's 2 ways you pay somebody. You can pay them salaries by the hour, or you can give them commission, based on jobs. Now, it's been proven that people in sales, you give them commission. And the people that labor work, the physical work, they want to get paid for their hard work, for their time. So if it's a physical work, you pay them by the time, but if it's sales, you give them by commission. Now, it makes a lot of sense to merge the two together and make your guys actually selling for you. And then you have to combine both bases, like, okay, this is your how much you're making by the hour, but this is for all the extra stuff you brought us. Now you treat them like owners, and they start acting like an owner, because now it's important for them, the sales of next week. And I also will tie them up in a team effort. So if our sales go over $20,000 next week, each one of you guys is going to make a bonus of $200. And now they working as a team to get there. Because everybody is like, okay, now we're going to probably do our best not to miss or lose any job. We're gonna try to get every job we can, and and for them, the $200 makes a difference a week. For me, the over $20,000 reached my goal and make me scale more. So there's an art into how to get those guys, and I suggest you go and start prompting AI or look up videos on how to motivate your team. I'm not going to cover this in this episode. There's a lot going on there. You just have to figure out how you keep your team motivated, and it's that's what we need to focus on.
All right. So you and I both know that most people that start a business, first thing they're going to do is they're going to go out and want to spend $100,000 and max out their credit cards on new trucks and equipment and everything else before they even sell the first job. So scaling stuff like that is really important. What would you recommend for scaling trucks and equipment?
Do not scale until you're really desperate to scale. Like, do not buy the extra truck or the extra equipment unless you really, really have to. If you need a backhaul, go rent one. But if that backhaul becomes necessary every day, then you go buy one. Don't hire just because you're having a busy hurricane, or try to grow with your own team and make your own team strong, because then you're going to hire, and then it's going to get slow, and then your business is going to be very so when you reach your maximum capacity, we used to always ask the customer is like, have you used us before? So, and especially in hurricanes, like now everybody's going to be calling you, like, have you used us before? And someone was like, no, this is my first time. It's like, okay, well, we have this many this week. If we covered them, we'll be more than happy to take you, but we're gonna stick with our customer first. So that's one way to kind of like get to our maximum capacity. And then that's your 100% efficiency. Because now if you keep chasing the growth and never reach your efficiency, I mean, you'll never make extra cash. So you need to maximize your demand and control your supply expenses and keep that profit margin going at all time.
Okay. Yeah, so you don't need the brand new $150,000 Ford Raptor just to go out and sell some construction jobs.
See, now they're buying dualies. $20,000 dually. Like, whoa, do I really need this on my driveway?
And they slap a little company logo on it just so they think it's all for their taxes and they're good, but they still got to pay for it.
Yeah, I think trying to save on taxes is the biggest, the worst philosophy anybody have. I have a friend who pays $100,000 a month in taxes, and a month in tax. Now he bills $300,000 in rentals, and he spent $100,000 every month on taxes, and he pays his taxes monthly though. Why? Because to him, this is my income from all the compound real estate that he built over the years, $300,000 every month. And then this $100,000 is the share fare for his infrastructure that he's operating on. And he sends that every month for his estimation and all that stuff. Now he's using every strategy there is. This guy, like, he probably used all the strategies, and he's paying a lot of money on consulting and all that stuff. Yeah. But he keeps $200,000, and this $200,000 every year buy him a new property.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's growth. It's, so don't try to save on taxes, because that's not a good philosophy. Be good with your strategies. But again, this show is not about that. We want to focus on what's important here.
So systematizing is the name of the game when you're getting to this, from the 100 to 100K to 1 million. And we talked about the owner and the employees, but how do you systematize other things? Like, are there other things you should create systems for within the business?
Absolutely. This is how it goes in our business. The first is you need to start getting leads for the work. And this is kind of a marketing effort that you have to have. Like, you have to have marketing channels. And at this stage here, you do have word of mouth going for you, but you also need to maintain your brand. You need to maintain your communication with those customers. Now you have a big number that you have probably, at this point, you'll have about 3,000-4,000 customers that you need to stay in touch with. So you need a CRM, some kind of software that stays in touch with these people. They would like to hear from you, not every day, like some annoying people do. No, you probably want to hear from you when it's time to give them heads up. It's like, hey, we're approaching this season. You better winterize your pipes. Hey, we're approaching this season, and expect condensation leaks or expect this. And those are like very useful emails that you need to stay in touch with them. Now, if they book your service, of course, you want to tell them, hey, I want to remind you that I'm coming tomorrow. And once you're done with the service, like, hey, how was everything? Tell us honestly, really, off the record, what is it that we can improve with? Something like that. And so that's your CRM machine. There is popular softwares out there that you could use. I recommend at this stage, when you go up to and trying to reach the 1 million, if you can get into the Service Titan platform, that's one name. Another name is the Home House Call. House Call is another software. Okay. I'm not sure if Jobber is as good as this tool or not. It's good for something, and I don't know if it's going to be good for that 1 million. Now, and there is an industry-specific softwares that you need to find out what and say alternative to Service Titan. Do a search, alternative to Service Titan for roofer, or alternative to Service Titan for HVAC, or so. And look up those CRM machines. Boots and Ladders is great, and it's great to start your business. It's great to get you up to the 250, and some people, the one-man show, it's wonderful. But if you want to scale to beyond the one-man show, if you want to go up to the team of 5 or 6 or 7, you need a software that does that stuff, and you need a person in the office that manages that stuff. So you're not the one who is, you took you a lot to get off the truck. I don't want you to take off the truck and go sit in front of a computer, because that's a recipe for a disaster. And getting off the truck, as it is, it's a very tough. That's probably was the hardest thing for me to do, is to get off the truck. I was the guy who was in every customer's house. I was there. I didn't trust anybody to do the work but me. And for me to stop on the side and watch them do it was very painful. Very, very, because it's not done mine. But guess what? At the end of the job, they delivered results their way, their own way. They did it. Yeah. The customer was happy. Everything was ready to scale. So I was there. I was on every job. I was showing up. I knew about all my jobs. I didn't go on a vacation and things went without my knowledge. So I kind of knew about where the jobs are, who's the customers, what's going on, all that stuff. And I was prepared for surprises. I was prepared for, there's always going to be some issues, and you need to be prepared. You need to be the problem solver. And you need to prove yourself as a problem solver. You need to take some kind of a course or some kind of class to become a problem solver. So you're just constantly solving problems and constantly making everybody happy. You need to master the art of giving somebody bad news and motivate him at the same time and cheer him up. So you need to master all that stuff. So it goes on and on and stuff like this. Back to our subject is you need software to start carry that system for you and start to do a lot of that stuff where you stay in touch with the customer, showing the customer that that you care. With you probably have your picture at the bottom of the email with your signature, direct contact for yourself that says you can reach me at any time, give me feedback, help me out, how I can keep customers thrilled. Because my mission is to thrill every customer with on-time service and outstanding results. So just help me out with my goal. And customer will communicate with you. They like to reach out to the owner. Always tell them that you're the founder. Tell them that, you care for this business. Don't be one of those guys like, I have a recipe to print money and I'm just going to go on the Bahamas and I'm going to, switch cars. That's the owner that they're not going to deal with. So you still is the brand. You are the brand. Okay. Now you have a logo that shines, now your trucks are clean, and you're showing, you're present by the organization. Like in my SOP, I used to have always back up the trucks.
Yeah.
I used to be a shopping center in my area, $120 a month to leave my trucks on the main road.
Oh.
If you go to Google Maps and if you search up on College Road, you will see my Sano trucks there since early Google Maps. So ever since Google Maps, you'll see the Sano trucks on the road, and they're always clean. They're always backed up, and that was my branding. People trusted me because they see my truck every day, and there's like north of 40,000 cars that pass by that road every day. So that's like I'm here. I haven't gone anywhere, and I'm so I have a system. I'm and I'm staying in touch. So yeah, CRM. Look for softwares. Try to automate your schedule if you can. Find a way to start collecting payment without having to chase after account receivables. And if you need an episode about how to get or how to collect money or unpaid invoices or get paid, I guess we'll do another episode for that, because that's another problem that some people have is they just don't get paid for their work. Yeah, it's a sad fact. So, yep.
Yeah, I love that. Systems for everything, and I'm a little OCD about that kind of stuff myself. I love systems, and but a lot of people I'll run into don't. Like, they're just, I don't know, they hate it, they're afraid of them, they think it takes the fun out of everything. But if you want to scale, you got to have it.
Yeah, and I still old-fashioned. I still use spreadsheets, and if I want to tell you my whole life is one sheet that has my balance sheet, that has my account receivables, that has my profit and loss statement for every company and every property I have. So I have all this in one spreadsheet that has links. So you build your own software very much for your system. and in my sheet I have my trust structure, my will and instruction for those after me. What if I die today? And these kids wants to come and find my passwords, or they wants to figure out what the heck I was working on. I have all that in one sheet, and I share that link with all the kids. Like, here, this is me, and this is what I'm doing.
No, it's a good idea, a great idea. So as we're kind of coming to the close of this whole series, any final tips? Anything we've missed, or that you really want to drill down on?
Well, I think the systemizing is probably what the take from this whole thing. But also, you need to standardize your service. When you go and buy a Big Mac, it's very much identical to the Big Mac that you bought yesterday and the one before and the one before. And it's always consistent. It's always the same. It's always the same price. For me. And so basically you need to do that with your pricing, you need to do that with your service, you need to think like a true store that has offers, that has and you need to scale it. I'm not going to be able to help you with marketing because it's constantly changing, but you're going to need to spend 10% on marketing just to keep things spinning beside your CRM and all that stuff. And now you're not bullying like you were in phase 2. Giving services, you can't give service now. Your time, you have no time, but you have money, and now with the money, you need to figure out how you're going to do marketing, and your marketing has to be very, 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 very smart. You can't afford to spend any money on anything. You don't want to buy pay-per-click and compete with the $20 clicks, but you need to find clicks that's still $1. And in today's age, okay, I'm not going to go and waste my time on plumbing in Wilmington, North Carolina. I'm just going to look for somebody who's looking for specifically water heater replacement same day, or a click that nobody is banking on, but there is few demands. And I know there's 15 water heaters that breaks down in Wilmington every day. I'm going to go and be specialized for those guys. I'm going to find them. I'm going to get them to call. So you just have to be very smart with this. You also need to watch for your KPI, which is your key performance indicator. You need to figure out where your efforts are, what you're spending on, what you're coming back, who's the customers that's coming in, where they're coming from, and how long they're staying, and why did they leave, why they didn't stay. All that stuff is, your churn. You need to find out the rate and if it's going up or down. You need to always investigate and examine your offers. And of course, you want to go in the field and inspect the results. You want to just reviews by itself is not enough. You want to go yourself and see if you're happy with the job or not. I usually send them to clean some friend's house and give me your feedback, or
Yeah.
so I always have very close ties with my customers, and some of those customers will call me and tell me, he's like, Omar, maybe you want to pay attention to this truck who's smells bad or something.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll be surprised at the things that you're going to hear.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And my very, very, very final take on this is stay lean, deliver value, and stay profitable. So you don't ever waste money on when you have a toothpaste, like we said, you want to squeeze it till the end. Don't waste any toothpaste. Don't waste any money. Stay lean, deliver value. That's your recipe for exponential growth of clients. And that's actually, when I sold the business, that's the most important thing for the buyers. How many customers do you have?
Yeah.
It wasn't how much your sales, it wasn't how much your revenue, it's the customers. That's what everybody's buying, your customer clientele, and that's what they want. So that's what you want, active customers. I think the past 2 years of active customers, like how many customers you have or served in the past 2 years, and what's the average ticket price is also important.
Yeah.
And stay profitable. You're in the business to serve and to also make profit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I tell you what, you've given us so much of your time on all these podcasts. How about take some time for yourself and tell us about Boots and Ladders, and give us a quick primer on that and why you're so amazing for somebody who's wanting to start a business.
Well, Ed, thank you for that, because when I sold my business in 2015, just like anyone else who was reached my goals, I was burned out, and I have money now, but I don't have any time, and I wanted some time. And I just got on my motorcycle and we went riding with friends of mine, camping, and did everything. And in 3 months, I was done with that. And I'm like, okay, I'm now done with all the partying and all the fun, and I'm kind of bored. I have time. I want to do something. I have all this information from the past. What do I do with it? So I started looking for business ideas. I started looking for other businesses to buy. And then I said, if I'm gonna find this time, I'm gonna find me a $10 million business and buy it and finance it. Somebody's retiring, wants to just hand it out, somebody like me. And before I did that, I said, I started praying. God, it was like, give me a big problem to solve. My next business has to be something big. I don't want it to be small. I want it to be a big thing. And then throughout the time, thinking and brainstorming of what I want to do next, I realized the hardest thing that was in my life is to start my business. The very hardest thing for me was from 0 to 1.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, how can I help with that? So I start coaching. I start coming up with ideas how I can give this information to people. I did some workshops at the community college here. And so most of the attendee weren't the demographic that I was looking for. They're just they're just people who have extra time. They just want to come and watch work. And my demographic were actually out there hustling in their jobs or their night jobs, or they're in restaurants serving tables. So they don't have time to come and see my workshops. And I'm like, okay. And we kept brainstorming till I figure out, you know what? It would be great if I designed the tool that helped me productize my service, which is a website that I built for myself that has my profile, and it has my online booking, and it has the payment, and kind of like a CRM, small CRM for a one-man show.
Yeah.
And I decided, it's like, if I take that and if I can scale it and offer it to everybody else, kind of like what Shopify did for their people. So Shopify is the same thing. If you want to start your online store, you can build your shop with them, and you can use it and promote it everywhere else in your social media and in your website and all that stuff. So I did the same thing, not knowing Shopify at the time. I start building Boots and Ladders, and I was like, if I have all those users using this tool, why don't I promote them to customers? They're right there. They're 1 mile or 2 miles away from somebody who's looking for the service. How about if I turn this into a marketplace? And now I have a two-sided marketplace. I already have the users who's offering their services. And now you customer who is looking for service, come and look. I have boots and ladders here. I have people that really come to do the job for you. And the nice thing about this whole thing, the beauty of it, is those guys are productizing their services from day one.
Yeah.
They're coming in with productized services. The platform tells them what to offer, what's in demand, how to offer it. There's pre-generated offers that they can go pick one, and in 3 minutes, they already have an offer. And it's open for all level of skilled professionals. They don't have to be rich. They don't have to be poor. They don't have to have 17 years in experience. They could be a guy who just started yesterday, and he's like, what could go wrong if I come in and replace your ceiling fan? I could fall, this is my general liability. I have this, I have that. So basically, cutting grass, landscaping, hauling furniture or hauling debris, or you will find all kind of gigs. So we're launching our new website probably Wednesday. I encourage everybody, and I'm sure hopefully this podcast will be out by the time then we'll have our new version 2 out, and you will see what Boots and Ladders looks like. Just click on the Boots and Ladders, and you'll see what it's all about.
All right. And where is Boots and Ladders available? Like what cities?
Only the United States. Anywhere in the United States. All zip codes. And it's geofence. So if you are in South Carolina, it's going to show you it's going to show up to the people around you. If you are in Alaska, it's going to show up to the people around you. So it's
okay.
And it's based on. So if I'm listing here in my area, and there's somebody a mile away looking up my service, I'll be first to see.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So you'll be the first in your area to be seen, unless somebody closer to that customer goes and lists their service, they'll be closer to them.
Yeah. So definitely everybody check it out. If you're wanting to start a service-based business, or you've got one that maybe hasn't been going well, it is definitely something you need to check out. And it's right there on the shirt. And that's actually how we met. I did some video commercials for you for Boots and Ladders, and then we've grown from there, getting to know each other. And you are the most featured person on my podcast.
Well, and one of your videos is the highest clicked on video. I'll share that with you later because it's doing really well. I think it's the one in the shower. That was crazy.
That's how I got started with those videos, was doing shower videos.
That worked really well. And then that one with the drill that's like, do you have the urge to screw? That's crazy.
Yep. Well, Omar, thanks for spending so much time with us. And I hope everybody's enjoyed this series. And in the comments, man, let us know if y'all have done some stuff with all this information. And because I want to hear success stories. I want to hear stories about you getting tons of leads on Boots and Ladders. And I know Omar's thrilled with that kind of stuff. And so let us know in the comments. And Omar, thanks for joining us again. And I'll take requests if anybody has any other info they want to hear from Omar, or if it's just a podcast with us hearing some of his horror stories about starting businesses and some of his mistakes.
Yeah, reach out to me. I'm on LinkedIn, and I usually respond to all those on LinkedIn. Or if you go through the website, you'll find my emails there too as well.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us again.
All right, guys. Great. Good luck with everything.
Hey, so before I let you go, I just wanted to mention real quick, this podcast is sponsored by Lowe's. I'm a partner now in their influencer program, and so in part, they're sponsoring this podcast. So there's going to be some really cool things coming down the pipeline with projects that they're helping with, some DIY stuff here on the farm. So keep an eye out in my socials for that. It's going to be really cool. And check in the show notes and also in the links on all my social medias, and you'll have a link where you can get to my Lowe's storefront. And so I'm really excited about this partnership. Wanted to let all of you know about it. Take care.